If Blender keeps crashing, freezing, or just feels unstable, this video is going to help you make it run a lot more smoothly. In this tutorial, I'll show you a few simple settings you can change inside Blender that can reduce crashes and improve overall stability, especially if you're using an older computer, a weaker GPU, or drivers that don't always play nicely with Blender. And if this video helps, please hit like and subscribe for more quick Blender tutorials. Alright, let's jump in. First, open Blender as usual. Once you're inside the program, look at the top bar and click Edit, then choose Preferences. This is where Blender keeps most of its important performance and stability settings, and a few small adjustments here can make a big difference. Now, in the Preferences window, go to the System tab. This section controls how Blender uses your hardware, and if you're having stability issues, this is one of the first places you should check. Look for Cycles Render Devices. If you're currently using GPU rendering and Blender is crashing, try switching to CPU instead. In some cases, certain graphics cards or driver versions can cause crashes, especially during rendering or when using heavy scenes. Switching to CPU may be a little slower, but it can often be much more stable. If you're not sure what's causing the problem, this step is worth testing. A lot of people assume the GPU is always better, but if your drivers are outdated or your system is under a lot of pressure, CPU rendering can be the safer option. The goal here is stability first, speed second. Next, scroll a little further and find the Memory and Limits section. One setting you'll want to look at here is undo steps. Blender stores undo history so you can reverse actions, but more undo steps also means more memory usage. If your system is struggling, reducing the number of undo steps can help lower memory pressure and improve stability. You still keep undo functionality, but Blender won't need to hold on to as much data in the background. This is a small change, but on lower-end systems it can help reduce lag and prevent crashes when working with larger projects. If you tend to work with complex models, multiple objects, or large textures, every bit of saved memory matters. Now let's move to another very common cause of instability, add-ons. Go to the Add-Ons tab in Preferences and review what's enabled. Blender can load a lot of extra tools here, but if you have add-ons you don't actually use, it's a good idea to turn them off. Some add-ons are lightweight, but others can slow Blender down, conflict with each other, or cause unexpected bugs. The best approach is to keep only the add-ons you really need enabled. If your troubleshooting crashes, disable any unnecessary first, then test Blender again. This makes it much easier to narrow down whether an add-on is part of the problem. In many cases, simply turning off unused tools can make Blender feel cleaner, faster, and more reliable. After that, go to the Viewport section and look for settings related to anti-aliasing or other heavy viewport options. If your system is older or your graphics hardware is limited, overly demanding viewport settings can sometimes contribute to lag or even crashes. Lowering these settings can reduce the strain on your machine while you're working in the 3D view. This is especially useful if Blender crashes when navigating large scenes, switching modes, or orbiting around complex objects. A lighter viewport setup can make the interface feel much more responsive and help prevent the program from pushing your hardware too hard. Once you've made these adjustments, don't forget the most important part, quick save preferences. If you skip this step, your changes may not stay after restarting Blender. Saving your preferences locks in the stability improvements so you don't have to repeat the process every time you open the program. Finally, restart Blender. This is important because some changes only apply properly after a fresh restart. Closing and reopening Blender gives it a clean start with the new settings in place, which is exactly what you want when trying to fix crashes and improve stability. So to quickly recap, if Blender is unstable, try switching between GPU and CPU in the system settings. Lower undo steps to reduce memory usage, disable unused add-ons, reduce heavy viewport settings, save your preferences, and restart Blender. These simple changes can make a surprising difference. If this tutorial helped you, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more Blender tips, fixes, and tutorials. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.